Good morning, everyone. So Thursday night we're going to begin the two-day holiday of Shavuot. And on Friday morning, Jews in synagogues all around the world will rise to their feet and listen to the Ten Commandments being given from God at Mount Sinai, just like it was given 3,335 years ago. And we all know that the Ten Commandments were written on two tablets, two stones. The first 5 commandments were on one tablet, and the second 5 were on the second tablet. And the question famously is asked, why didn't God just give the 10 commandments on one long tablet with all 10 commandments? And there are many answers given to this question. One answer, of course, is that the first 5 commandments are the commandments between man and God. The second 5 are between man and your fellow man, like don't kill, don't steal. And therefore, they're put side by side to teach us that you should know that they're of equal importance. God is not only concerned about your relationship with Him, but equally important is how you treat your fellow man. But another beautiful answer given to this question, why they're on 2 tablets, is because one of the beautiful metaphors the rabbis used to explain the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai is the marriage of God and the Jewish people. Just like a man chooses a bride, God chose us, took us out of Egypt to be His wedded wife, took us to Mount Sinai, brought us under the mountain, which is like the marriage canopy, gave us the Torah, which is like the ketubah. And a matter of fact, when we put on our tefillin in the morning, we recite the words of the prophet, I will be betrothed to you for all of eternity, with kindness, with mercy, with righteousness, with compassion, and with faithfulness. And we put the tefillin straps around our finger in the custom of our Ashkenaz as we say these words, because it's like the marriage band on our finger as we put on the tefillin. And indeed, if you look at the first 2 commandments, what are they? I am the Lord your God. You should have no other gods. That's what a marriage is. I am going to be your spouse, and you should not have any other spouses. When you get married, you dedicate yourself and commit yourself to become one with your spouse, and you at the same time create an exclusive relationship and say there should be no other person in this relationship. So the whole giving of the Torah and the 10 Commandments is all about God's love for us and our personal relationship with God. And so therefore the 2 tablets represent the bride and the groom standing under the chuppah. When you see the 2 tablets or image of it in the synagogue or anywhere that you see the 10 Commandments, the first thing that comes to mind is a bride and a groom standing under the marriage canopy side by side. The Torah is not just a collection of laws and rules. It's an intimate relationship with God, an exclusive relationship with God that every personal Jew has to have with God. And therefore the entire message of Torah is love and kindness and our bond through the mitzvot that we become one with Hashem. You know, there's a rabbi in New York, his name is Rabbi Scheiner, and he grew up in Chicago, and he tells a very interesting story. He says that the Michael Jordan, I think it was the Bulls, Chicago Bulls, they used to practice near his home. And so kids would go watch them practice in Chicago. And he said one time Michael Jordan, the famous basketball player, was leaving the practice and going towards his car. And kids were running after him, Michael, could we get your autograph, Michael? And Rabbi Scheiner was a kid. He was running after Michael with a pen and paper. And when he got to his car, he stretched out his hand and said, Michael, could you sign me an autograph? And Michael looked at him and said, kid, get out of the way, or I'm going to slam your fingers off in the door. And he slams the door. And poor Scheiner was really dejected. And he went home, and his father saw that he was very sad. His father said, what's the matter? He says, I was running after Michael Jordan to sign my autograph, and he said, get out of the way, and I'll crush your fingers on my door, and he slammed the door in my face. Rabbi Scheiner says his father sat down and wrote a letter to Michael Jordan. And he wrote to me, he says, my son came home, told me what happened, and my son feels very dejected and hurt by what you did. He said, Michael, you're a class act. You're much better than that. you hurt my son's feelings. I want you to apologize to him. And he put his home number in the letter. He said his father then went to Michael Jordan's home in Chicago, knocked on the door. His mother at the time opened the door, Dolores. He said, this is a personal letter for Michael. The next day, the phone rings in the Taub residence, and it's Michael Jordan. And he asks to speak to the boy, Chase. And he says, listen, I'm really sorry about what I did. I didn't act properly. I apologize. Please forgive me. He says, next time you come to a game, just come down to the locker room and I'll sign anything you want from me. That's the first message of the Ten Commandments. First message is that our relationship with our fellow man is equivalent to our relationship with God. We cannot have a relationship with God if we don't treat our fellow man properly. No matter what heights we achieve, we have to remember to be humble. And we have to remember that we are in a relationship with Hashem, like a husband and a wife. And therefore, the entire foundation of our relationship with Hashem is all about love. And it's the love that we show one another that brings the greatest joy and the greatest holiness to our lives and to the world around us. Have a wonderful day.